The thing that I want to focus on right now is the bread production. So let's take a look again at what these people want. I take that back, actually. We still need sausages, guys. Holy crap. Let's focus on sausage production. We've got 16 brick. We only need 5 brick to make a slaughterhouse. So let's figure out a place to put our pig farms, because this is super exciting. Pig farms, let's see here. This has an AoE of that, area of effect, for those of you that don't know what AoE is. And then we could probably start filling in this little space right here. We could even start filling in this little space. In fact, let's do this space here, because this space has a warehouse next to it, and we can make that work in our favor. So first off, let's drop a pig farm. That's going to be right there. And then we're going to go ahead and zoom right in very closely here. We're going to do that. And then let's take a look. We need, how many of these can we fit? 5. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and look at this again. We're going to drop, that's 2. We're going to do 3, 4. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and demolish these. Because again, we're looking at efficiency. How can we make this in a very efficient way? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at that, guys. A perfect rectangle. That is what we like to see. So we're going to go ahead and highlight all of this. We're going to copy it. We're going to drop it here. Oops, let's zoom out a little and move our cursor. We're going to drop it here. We're going to drop another one here. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't really fit one there unless we do that. Okay. We got 1, 2, and then we can fit a 3rd. And again, it doesn't affect our area of effect for that lumber yard, so that's good. And then here, they're going to need access to this. So we're going to go ahead and expand this road. And yes, I know it's not perfectly lined up. I apologize for that. Okay. So now we've got pig production. So since we don't really need clay all that much right now, we're going to go ahead and replace that with the brick. And then we're going to move this and replace that with pig. So here we've got, now we can see all of our production of kind of our core things. So we've got timber, schnapps, clothing, and bricks. Pigs is, again, one of our raw materials, but we need to kind of monitor it right now because we just dropped these items. So it's important for us to monitor what we're doing when we're doing it. So in clicking into this first pig farm, you can see they have direct access to this warehouse. So that's great. These also have access to the warehouse. Again, really great. And looking at my chat, I can see James commented that we should name our islands Chris and Brian are cool. And then he also said that Oliver and James are hot. I don't know if we want to name the islands that. However, if there are other cool names that you guys want to see for the islands, let us know. Okay, so we've already got some pig going. So let's take a look at the slaughterhouse. So it takes 1 minute to create sausage, and it takes 1 minute for pigs to be produced. So that's, again, that 1-to-1 ratio. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and take these slaughterhouses. And again, there's no AoE that I need to worry about over here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these slaughterhouses right over here. And based on this, I think I can fit maybe 3 of them. So 1, 2, and 3. So it is a 1-to-1 scenario here. So let's throw another one on this side. So that's 4. We need 2 more. So we're going to go ahead and throw a couple more over here, 1 and 2, because again, there's no AoE that we need to worry about. AoE, area of effect. So we've got 6 slaughterhouses and 6 pig farms. So that's definitely going to be a 1-to-1. However, worker shortage is a thing. So we're down 245 workers. That means we've got to expand, and we got to expand fast. So let's take a look at our current market. So the market, we may start to struggle as we expand. For example, here, they only have access to 50% of the market. That just means the AOE, the area of effect for the market, is only big enough to expand only so much before you have to drop a second market. So we're going to do that in just a minute. But for now, I'm going to focus on adding a few more houses, farmer houses, over on this area since we have the ability to do so. I think we can get way more creative than that, James. Use your imagination. It could be whatever you think is right. All right, guys. So a couple of things that we want to do here. So again, we want to expand, and the only way to expand is really to push our way into this area where our lumber production is. The only problem, obviously, is our lumber production needs to get moved. So let's look at another part of our island where we can have great lumber production. And one of the places that I'm thinking is way over here where our clay production is. Because again, remember, the jobs don't necessarily have to be close to the residence. They just have to exist, and they have to exist next to a warehouse. So let's go ahead and start moving some of that over. That way we can start expanding our roads and stuff and creating more housing for our population to grow. So we're going to go ahead and drop one right over, let's see here. All right. So now let's take a look. Do they have access? They do not have access to this warehouse. So instead of building a new warehouse, I'm going to move this warehouse. It's going to affect this lumberyard just a little bit, but it also gets all of these lumberyards in the vicinity, in the area of this warehouse. So that's important. That's super critical. Again, we didn't spend any additional money in creating a new warehouse. We also didn't waste lumber when we didn't really need to. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to move the sawmills. Okay, so there are 4 sawmills over here that we no longer need there. Because again, they don't necessarily have to be close to any of the lumber yards. So we're going to move them and place them over here, very close to where our warehouse is. Now that gives us the ability to move this warehouse and put it somewhere a little more efficiently. Let's look at this a little bit. So this is actually a warehouse that we don't really need right now. So let's go ahead and drop this warehouse where it's not going to have that big of an effect on our area of effect for lumber and stuff. Okay, so again, still have a worker shortage. So now we're going to focus on expanding that farmer residences. So that way we can convert some of these homes into worker homes. So first and foremost, let's drop another marketplace because again, these residences want a marketplace. That's what they use to get food. And we already saw a little bit of a struggle earlier for some of these homes to have access to the marketplace. The other thing that we're struggling with is our fishing. So let's go ahead and drop another fishery. That way we can get a little more fish to supply our markets. All right, so here, guys, we run into a little bit of a snag. This last house is causing it so that we cannot connect a road. So I'm going to demolish that one house, and then I'm going to do this in order to connect the road. Yeah, it doesn't look clean, but right now we're just looking for actually expanding. So we can always put certain things there, like, you know, small trees or something else that will give kind of like some beautification to the city. We're also going to expand into this area up here. That way, again, as we continue to build and such, you know, we'll have the ability to do so with the amount of homes and workers and everything that comes in between. Again, not the prettiest thing in the world, guys. In fact, I can probably delete these roads and expand a little bit more for the homes. In fact, I'll do that. Ooh, and I wonder, guys, I wonder. So let's go ahead and demolish all of this, including this road. Because I wonder if we can easily do something like that. Look at that. Again, guys, not the prettiest thing in the world, but you know what? It serves a purpose and it works. And who doesn't like grid maps, you know? Grid maps are amazing, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm. Big fan, big fan.
Fan of the show, fan of the show. I appreciate everybody that's watching. If you're watching and you like the gameplay so far, go ahead and comment that. Awesome. Thanks, Amel. We hope that this channel grows too. It's really fun. Appreciate that. And if you liked it, if you liked the stream, really appreciate that too.
Ooh.
Thanks, James. What?
I just did a quest, and now you have a miner.
What?
If you have a trade union near your mine, it will give you plus 20% productivity.
Oh, wow.
But you have to equip them.
All right, guys. So our farmer situation is growing. So let's take a look at them. So they do have access to the marketplace, which is great. They do need more clothing, and we do need fish. So we are very critical with fish right now, and it's a little bit of a problem. Part of it is they don't have access to a road, surprisingly. So we're going to go ahead and give them access. That should increase our fish production here. But again, really great that that happened, because then it gave you an opportunity to see that, you know, and we corrected it right on the spot. So I'm going to go ahead and expand the little farmers residences into this area. So I will be right back. All right, guys, so we are back, and what I've done now is I have expanded, obviously, the farm residences. I'm now going to go ahead and increase, whoa, I'm going to go ahead and increase the number of worker homes that we've got. That way we don't have any issues going forward. And part of that is obviously they need the fish production. That's the only way we can expand. So let's take a look. We currently have 0 fish in our warehouse, so that's a problem. Oh, shout out to a mill. You live in Spain. It is super late. It's 4:35 in the morning over there. Holy, wow, that's super early in the morning, super late night. But we appreciate you watching the stream. Brian, say hi to a mill.
Hi, a Millie.
Really cool name, by the way. I love it. Okay, I went ahead and added another fishery because I feel like we need to increase production of our fish farm relatively quick. The other thing is we can upgrade our trading post. That is important. When we upgrade, we get more storage capacity as well as more loading ramps. It is important to have as many loading ramps as you can, because that's what's going to help kind of get things back and forth to your residents, as well as any of the production buildings that you have around you. Okay. So as we're increasing our fish production to hopefully facilitate an upgrade here with some of the farmer residences and get the worker shortage corrected, we're going to go ahead and start building. We're going to go ahead and build a trade union. And that trade union is going to go somewhere around here. So let's go ahead and unfortunately demolish a couple of these buildings and then go ahead and drop this trade union. Trade union is going to be really helpful, especially when we get when we have certain people. For example, let's see. So we have two people. We have a miner as well as a mate. The mate can actually be equipped on a ship. So we're going to go ahead and put the mate back on the ship. And it gives you a plus 20% production on all of your mines. I think, Brian, that might be better for you since you have coal mines.
Well, use them for you just use them for now.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and drop this guy in the trading post, and you'll see him as a socket here, an item socket. So that's going to increase productivity by 20%. And then as time goes on, what we can do is add a trading post, a trade union somewhere else, like where we have actual mines. Currently, we don't really have mines. I mean, there's copper and there's iron, but once we actually get an iron mine, then we can put one of those trade posts next to it and increase production by 20%. So really cool, very useful to have, especially down the road. So a couple of things right now. Again, we need to upgrade our farmer houses, and part of that is that fish production. So you see that the bar is going up, which is really cool. But as soon as it actually hits the green, then we can go ahead and upgrade. Once we upgrade, we'll get the worker shortage corrected, and we'll get things kind of back on track. Good thing is we've got close to 1,000 additional farmer workers than we need. So that's going to be really good. All right, guys. So we'll be back when the fish situation gets corrected and we start to get a little bit more fishies. Okay. See you in a minute. All right, guys, we are back and a few changes. So I've moved a lot of the fishery over to another part of the island where I can sustain more of the production. So one of the benefits of having such a big island like this is there are many different beach areas where you could add certain things that are harbor based. So in this situation, I use this beach area for all of my fishing. And that way it will fulfill the need that it needs. And again, it just needs a warehouse. We don't have to put residents or anything around it. I will at some point probably throw some residents around here because we've got copper deposits as well as iron deposits here, which is really helpful. However, for now, this is just creating more efficiency because later down the road, we may want to expand and add certain things here since it is our main trading post. So because of that, we do have enough fish as well as market and clothing to upgrade some of our residences and fix this worker shortage. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to upgrade this neighborhood, and this neighborhood, and see what that gives us. So we are now in the green in the green for workers. So we've got plus 53 workers. That's great. That means we won't have a shortage going forward as we continue to expand. So we've got, again, the pig farms here. We've got 21 pig, and we've got slaughterhouses. So for slaughter, we've got sausages. So let's go ahead and change that sausage, change the pigs to sausage, since that is what we're actually creating. And then we can actually, using pigs, this is where efficiency comes in again. Using pigs, we can create soap. So from the pig farm, we create rendering, which will then create soap. So let's go ahead. Again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio because it takes 1 minute to create rendering. We've got 6 pig farms. We should add a few more just so that we can do the rendering. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And that will add just another layer to what we already have. Okay. All right, guys, we are back. So a couple of updates here. So I added 6 more pig farms because that's obviously we can use them. Ooh, pause. Here we go. Another newspaper, guys. Hopefully this is all good news and not just talking about the worker shortage. How many of you think that this is going to be about the worker shortage? Comment below, hit a like, because I think it's going to be worker shortage related. And lo and behold, it is not. I lose. So let's start from the beginning. Mission successful, increases +5 happiness. Yay. However, city becomes uglier, takes -5 happiness. So it's a net 0. Promised land. Okay. So we are opening the doors. We're revealing shimmering utopia. Of course we live here. No one expects that. Boom. Good growth. -50 rebellion. So I think that while the city becomes uglier is not so good of a headline, I also think that this is an okay thing to publish. Again, it is a net 0 happiness or sadness, so I'm okay with that. And then as far as reducing the rebellion, again, I'm good with that. Let's do it. I'm going to say go ahead and publish it. Brian, do you have any comments about it?
No.
Bet. Published. Let's go. So recent development, in order to make these rendering works, we're required to have steel. So in order to get steel, we need to do coal, charcoal, and a furnace in order to create steel works. Ooh, offers you a puzzle quest. Why, sure, why not? Find a black bear and find a wolf. Oh boy. That's going to be interesting.
Are you doing that?
I think that's... Oh, that is like way...
Snail like all the way, yeah.
Whoa. Well, we've got time. I'm not going to do that right now, but we will get to it. Anyways, so for now, guys, let's focus on the steel beams that we need in order to create this. So as you guys know, we have an iron deposit up here. So for iron... Again, remember, let's hark back to that trading post because we've got this guy who will increase mine production. So we want to definitely leverage this guy. So let's go ahead and build a road out to that. So let's drop the mine down. And then let's go ahead and get a road that goes all the way to this mine. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Next to that, we're going to go ahead and put a charcoal, a charcoal kindling. And they're gonna use trees for that. Again, let's drop a road connecting that. Boom. We're gonna need a warehouse right next to it. Okay, we'll put it right next to both. And now that we've got that, we can go ahead and put a furnace down. Again, you want furnaces to be far away from your residence. You want all of this kind of steel production to be far away from the residence because it is going to be pollution, pollution, pollution. And how many of us like pollution? Nobody. Is it necessary? Sometimes. So here, kindling takes 31 seconds to produce, okay? Odd number, but whatever. Here, iron takes 15 seconds. So that's 2 iron, 1 kindling. And here it requires for the furnace 31 seconds, but the furnace requires both iron and kindling, okay? And then finally, we've got the actual steel production, steelworks, okay? So for that, we're going to drop this down, and it takes over a minute to create steel. Obviously, we need some stuff to happen first, so let's do that. All right. So we can see now that production has started for the furnace. However, we are now officially missing workers again. So let's go back to our town area and let's create some workers. So we're going to go ahead and click the U, and that'll give us the upgrade menu. And we're going to go ahead and highlight several little communities to upgrade. There's no real science to it. We just arbitrarily pick and choose what we're going to upgrade. A lot of the times I like upgrading things along the coastline because obviously it looks pretty in terms of beautification. So I do like keeping that consistent. So here we've upgraded enough. We've got plus 35 workers. Let's do one more little community, one more block of workers. And then we can move over back to our workers, our iron worker. So here we've got everything very close by, super easy, super fun. And we're now producing steel. So I don't have to worry about sausages right now. Let's actually go to the steel beams because that is the next big project here. Okay. So in order to build our rendering works, we need steel. So that's going to come in handy and become very useful. All right, guys. And with that, I'm going to call it a day for Anno 1800. If you want to continue to see more of this build and see how far we get, again, we haven't really discovered the map. We still have a quest that we need to do in the next 25 minutes, game time, and Brian has started a new island. We've got Bente, who is very close to us. Maybe we can look and see what she's offering for trade, or maybe we can trade with her. We also have a lot of the shipyard to build. We've got sails to do. We've got bread to create. We've got a ton of stuff that needs to get done. So if you want to see this continue, please make sure to hit the like button, comment below that you want to see more of this. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, because we really love playing these kind of games. But in order to play these kind of games, we want to make sure that you are enjoying it as well. With that, I'm going to call it a day. Brian, anything to add to that?
See you next time.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Catch you later. Have fun. Be safe. We love you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All right. Bye, guys.